They need to have a bit of a break as well.
Question number 5, Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
Mr Speaker, my question is to the Minister of State and Enterprises and asks, does he stand by his statement, quote, "There was no change to Dr Elder's pay or entitlements, therefore there was no effect on what his contractual arrangements would be during the changes to his employment," unquote? If so, why?
Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr Speaker, within context, yes, because that is the advice I've received from both Mr Palmer and Mr Ford.
Supplementary question, Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
Why does he continue to claim that Dr Elder got nothing from the contract extension signed by the outgoing chair on August 31, 2012, when the so-called, quote, "transitional arrangements," unquote, where Dr Elder is being paid to stay at home for 2 months, is nothing more than a rebranded golden handshake?
Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr Speaker, because the advice that I've received from Mr Palmer and Mr Ford, which I've given to that member on at least, I think, 4 or 5 occasions, is that there were no changes to Mr Elder's pay and entitlements as a result of the contract being updated at the end of August.
Supplementary question, Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
On what date did he first become aware that Dr Elder was being paid to stay at home as part of the so-called, quote, "transitional arrangements," unquote, he had with Solid Energy?
Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr Speaker, I think it would have been at around about the time of the announcement of Mr Elder's retirement that Mr Ford would have informed me that Mr Elder was moving on and that he would be remaining available to the company for a period of time.
Supplementary question, Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
After Dr Elder's mediation meeting on 8 February 2013, and after the exit package was signed off on 11 February 2013, did he as Minister inquire as to whether Dr Elder was to receive any additional remuneration, maybe without asking for the quantum, such as being paid to stay at home for 2 months? If not, why not?
Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr Speaker, I think this is probably the 3rd or 4th time I would have answered this question, and the advice that I received from Mr Ford is that Dr Elder received all the entitlements he was entitled to under his contractual arrangements.
Supplementary question, Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
After battling with the board of Solid Energy for over 18 months, as has been alluded to by his Finance Minister, why did the Minister not invoke Section 13 of the SOE Act, where via the statement of corporate intent he could have proactively directed the board?
Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr Speaker, what's clear is that when ministers became aware of issues around the financial the performance of Solid Energy and the likely risk into the future identified in the scoping study, we took action. We discussed that with the board as the changes that needed to be made. There's been a new board and a new chair put in place. What I will say is while we were discussing that with the board of Solid Energy, that company did confront some very difficult decisions that had to be made with the Spring Creek with respect to its head office, and that party opposite opposed every single step that company was making to get its finances in order.
Point of order. Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
Mr Speaker, I asked the member a very short and straight question, which was why he didn't, after 18 months, choose to invoke Section 13. He didn't go anywhere near that.
And the question was certainly adequately answered. I guess the last part was not helpful to the order of the House. Further supplementary question, Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
Will he be willing to appear before the Commerce Select Committee to discuss his role as shareholding Minister of Solid Energy, either voluntarily, by invitation, or as part of a select committee of inquiry? If not, why not?
Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr Speaker, I'd wait to see whether the committee invites me to do so. But I'm very happy.
Point of order.
Mr Speaker, I asked whether he would be willing under a series of circumstances, by invitation, voluntarily. The answer is he's either willing or he's not willing, not whether he'll wait for something.
No, the answer says that he was prepared to consider when he got an invitation. Does the member have further supplementaries? No, he doesn't. Then, question number 6, Jonathan Young.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Energy and Resources.